Welcome back to episode 30 of Blurred Summits. Today, we're going to be talking about imagery. We're going to be talking about what imagery is, why you would want to use imagery, and how to actually use imagery. So, Abdul, let's get right into this here.
Yes,
so,
sir.
what is imagery?
So imagery is the action of creating or recreating an experience in your mind through the use of all of your senses, right? So other words for image is like visualization.
Okay.
Visualization is like probably the big one.
Imagination?
Right? Imagination.
That's basically using your imagination for this?
It's visualizations, imagination. I don't know if imagination is really... Yeah, imagination.
Okay.
Imagination. I would say imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to create like realities in your mind that might not actually exist to get a little bit of head start on the real world.
Okay.
Right? So that's the point of it.
So, why would you want to use imagery?
Yeah. So the reason that you want to use like imagery or visualization is that if you imagine yourself going through an experience, completing a task, writing a test, having a tough conversation, then you ignite in your brain the same pathways. You begin to build in your mind the pathways to actually complete the task. So when you actually do the task, those pathways are already there. You just need to reinforce them.
Oh, cool. So, you're basically training yourself before the task actually happens.
Exactly. You are going into like a simulation almost that trains you for the real world situation.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this a bit before, and I think an earlier podcast, all this type of stuff, right?
Exactly.
Just going a bit more depth into the actual side of things here. So what other things what other reasons why would you want to use imagery?
Yeah. Well, imagery lets you walk into a task before you even have done it, right? So the benefit of doing this is, let's say you're an athlete.
Yep.
And let's say you're a gymnast. Right? You're a gymnast, you're going to the Olympics, and you have a routine. I'm going to jump, I'm going to do a couple flips, handstand, whatever. And ta-da, that's my entire routine. If I can visualize myself doing that routine, then in practice, I am less likely to get injured.
Yeah.
I'm more likely to perform better. I'm more likely to have decreased stress and anxiety about the situation. Right?
Yeah.
So basically, all the problems that you have disappear.
So it builds your confidence in reality is what that does.
It builds your confidence like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Helps you build confidence. A lot of people will use imagery and visualization to actually overcome past pain.
Interesting.
To overcome past pain, because if you can, a lot of times what we do with pain in our lives is that we bottle it up and we toss it into a deep, dark place and we never revisit it again.
Yeah.
The issue is it kind of leaks out. It leaks out of that bottle that we kept it in, and it begins to infest the rest of our body. But what imagery lets you do is it lets you open up that bottle, and it lets you go into the specifics of it, and it allows you to resolve the issues that come along with it.
Okay, so it helps you solve the problems then is what that does.
It helps you solve the problem, and through helping you solve the problem, it eliminates that pain.
That's impressive.
It is impressive.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people use it when they go to therapists and stuff like that. They use imagery as a really, big way to solve their past traumas.
So could you almost like set up a council in your head sort of thing?
Yeah. So this was, oh my God, bro. I heard this amazing TikTok. And this guy was saying he has a council of people in his head. He literally has like, I'm Abdul. I have like Abdul 2, Abdul 3, Abdul 4, Abdul 5. But each one is like a parody of my personality.
Okay.
So one guy is like really mean. One guy is super nice. One guy is really aggressive. And he said, I have this council of myself that basically sit at this big round conference table. Right? Yeah. And every time I have a problem, I sit down and I visit this conference table. I walk into this conference room and I say the problem and I go around in a circle and I see, what does each person have to say?
That's interesting.
That's kind of cool, eh? That's an interesting idea. And so he said the benefit of doing this is that I get opinions that I didn't even know I had. Isn't that like a weird I kind of want to try it out. I don't know how good my imagination actually is to be able to do something like that, but that would kind of be
That's kind of
neat,
weird.
wouldn't it?
That's really weird.
Yeah. So, like if you want to get started with visualization, there are certain steps that we can take.
Yeah.
There are certain steps because visualization isn't this thing that should be done once in a blue moon, whatever. You need to treat this like going to the gym.
Yeah.
And we both know if you go to the gym once a month, you're not going to make any muscle, right? You're not going to get better. You're not going to improve in your athletic stance at all.
Yeah. Big Ups Gym's almost opening in 2 days.
I know, so excited. Oh, hopefully gyms are open by the time this podcast is out. But imagery, you want to start off, practice it 3 to 4 times a week, right?
Yeah.
During those 3 to 4 times, you want to do it for 15 to 20 minutes at a time.
Okay.
15 to 20 minutes at a time. During these 15 to 20 minutes, what do you do? Right? So you literally set a time, just like you're going to the gym. Say between 3 and 3:30, I'm going to visualize. Go, sit down. Quiet space. You're not in a public space. You're in your room somewhere quiet where you're alone, where you're not going to be disturbed during those 30 minutes. Your phone is out, bro. Your phone is outside. Your phone is gone. Okay? It's nowhere near you. And you're sitting completely alone. You close your eyes and you sit there for 2 minutes doing nothing except breathing, right?
Yep.
Just like try and really control your breath as deep in and as deep out as you can possibly do for 2 minutes. The point of this, you just want to relax your body.
Yeah.
It's very hard for you to visualize if you're, kind of
all tense, yeah.
Right, all tensed up. So you want to go, and now when you're all relaxed, you're ready to visualize. Visualize the thing that you want.
Okay.
So let's say it's an exam. I have an exam coming up. I want to visualize myself taking this exam, right? So now I imagine from beginning to end the exam, everything about the exam.
Yeah.
Right? What do I smell during the exam? What do I feel?
Oh, use all your senses.
What do I see? You want to do all 5 of your senses during the visualization. You don't just want to walk through the actions. You want to initiate all of your senses, all 5 of your senses while you're doing the action, and you're just imagining it. You're imagining everything, every element of it, but don't stop just at the end of your exam, right? So get to the end of your exam and now visualize the feelings after you're being done the exam, right? What feelings are you going to have? What is it? Are you going to be smiling? Are you going to be sad? What's it going to be? By the way, you want to be smiling, okay? Right? So that's the other tip.
Yeah.
You want to have positive emotions. Think of it in the most positive way. Like if this exam was going to be absolutely perfect, it was going to go exactly how you wanted it to go. The best case scenario, imagine that scenario and imagine it in your mind and do this for 15 to 30 minutes, right? If it's tough for you to go 15 to 30 minutes to concentrate for that long, chop it up. You go shorter and work your way up as time goes on.
Yeah.
Right?
That's super interesting to do it with exams. Like I've done it with sports. Sports side of things, it comes naturally. Like I can visualize that stuff, no problem. But when it's like school or things not sports related, I find it impossible to like visualize.
Yeah, like visualize everything. Like what does the seat feel like? Like maybe visualizing exams was better when we were in person because like in that big gymnasium, right? What does it feel like when you're stepping through those doors? When you sit down and you put your pencil case out, you take your pencils out. What does it smell like,
people,
bro? What can you hear?
You hear a lot of coughing.
Right? Like, so really just take it all in because what you want to do is you want to make it as accurate as possible to the real experience. And if you get all 5 of your senses, then that experience is going to be as accurate as it possibly can.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, it's exactly like what we've said in previous podcasts. You're training yourself for the real event. Almost like we said, overtraining yourself. Knowing exactly where you're going to go, what you're going to do, walk yourself through it, and you'll be set up.
Yeah. So how should we utilize imagery and visualization? If you are visualizing a refined task, something that's very precise, imagine it in slow motion. Right? So let's say you're a surgeon and you're doing surgery, right? This is very precise. If you want to visualize your surgery, imagine it in slow motion. Imagine every single thing happening at 1/10 of the speed, super slow motion.
Yeah.
If the thing that you want to visualize is more tempo based, you're practicing a dance routine, you're practicing yourself playing the piano, you're imagining yourself, singing, whatever. You want to do that at real time. You want to keep with the tempo, keep with the beat, and do it at real time. And if you want to use visualization to hype you up, to get the blood going to maybe for sports, right? You're going in for that hockey shot.
You don't know terms.
I don't, right? You're going in, some sport related thing. You want to go fast speed, double the speed, 2 times speed to hype you up, to get the blood going, to get that adrenaline rushing within your body. So then when you walk into the real thing, you're able to mimic that adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about some quick tips for imagery.
Right? Yawning, lack of sleep.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's funny. So quick tips for imagery, right? First, you want to aim for relaxed concentration, not energized
Didn't
concentration.
you just say use energy though?
No. Relaxed concentration in your physical body.
Oh, okay.
In your imagination, you can be whatever you want.
Okay.
But in your body, you want to be relaxed.
Yeah.
This goes back to the thing of your phone isn't around you, you're in a quiet room, all this kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to be completely relaxed while you're doing it, because basically what you're doing is you're opening the door to Narnia, right? Visualization is you're opening the door to Narnia. You are literally leaving your reality.
And seeing a talking tiger through some magic thing.
Exactly.
I haven't seen Narnia. Is that actually what it is?
Yeah, potato.
It's
close. There's a line. Aslan, bro. The guy's a beast.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie.
It's so cool.
Probably a decade.
You need to watch it. It is a pretty good movie. But so you want to be relaxed in your body, because your world as you know it right now no longer exists. There is only the world of your imagination. It's kind of like dreaming.
Okay.
Right? Next, you want to use vivid and controllable images. You want everything in your visualization to be controlled. You're not just going with the motions. Every movement is intentional, right?
Yeah.
The things that you're doing, right? You're not frazzled. You're not running away from something. You are the one who's in control. You have absolute confidence in your movement, so that can translate into absolute confidence in real life.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense, right? Basically, practice the way that you play is the analogy that you do.
Exactly. And visualize or practice visualizing with absolute control.
With intent.
Exactly.
And then, you'll be able to get the most out of it.
Right?
Yeah.
This next tip is for people who might have difficulty focusing or, sitting down for 15, 20 minutes imagining their own thing. Use a video or audio recording. There's a ton of audio video recordings out there that help guide you through the visualization.
Like guided meditation type things, but for...
Similar guided meditations, but you can find
tasks?
Specific things. Yeah, like you can find something for hockey, right? Like for hockey, a guided visualization of hockey, and it'll tell you what are the specific things you're actually looking for. Because maybe you're in your visualization, you're like, okay, what things do I actually need to pay attention to? So the guided meditation will actually give you, tell you, how does the ice feel under you right now? All this kind of stuff leads you in that way, right? The next one is you want to include outcomes of the task, and you want to go past completion, right? So
like going past completion then makes it just feel all the more real then, or?
Yeah, you want to visualize the outcome, right? You want to visualize after it's not you just hitting that slap shot, making the goal in hockey. You want to visualize what is the feelings after that. Don't stop your visualizations right at the goal winning shot.
Okay.
Visualize past it, right? You visualize your teammates coming up to you, you going back into your locker room and celebrating, all this kind of stuff. Visualize those elements as well.
Okay.
Those will increase your confidence
awesome.
like crazy. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, you want to practice your imagery in multiple different settings.
Like where you're doing the imagery is different, or the imagery you're doing is different things?
Both, right? So you want to, don't just have like a set place in your house that you do imagery, because it's not bad to have one place, but have multiple of those. Have 5 or 6 places that you can go to, right? Because if you always are imagining the same thing in the same spot, then your mind has difficulty putting it into real world circumstances.
Okay.
It begins to just see it happening in that one spot. You know what I'm saying? You're only going to do
you
well.
make it so then it's in,
right?
the thing in your brain is that location, not necessarily the actual outcome itself.
It's not generalized. It's just super specialized imagery, right? And you also, like you said, you also want to do the imagery in a different place and have different images, right?
Okay.
So don't just do you getting that game-winning shot, one routine.
Mm-hmm.
Do 5 different routines, right? There's a million possibilities of how you can accomplish the thing that you want. So imagine those 5 different possibilities.
Yeah, it's indefinite, really, all the possibilities that you could have.
Exactly. Right? And if you do that, once again, the point of this tip is it helps to generalize it.
Mm-hmm.
It helps your brain get a better sense of the real world. You know, the
Yeah.
real world, it doesn't just have one way the real world goes. There's a bunch of different ways that the real world goes.
Yeah, it's endless, really, right? That's what this shows.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah. So to recap today's episode on imagery, we spoke about imagery, which is, you know, creating or recreating an experience in your mind that involves all of your senses. The ways that you want to practice imagery is 3 to 4 times a week for 15 to 30 minutes at a time, right? When you are imagine, use those 5 senses, right? Use it and imagine it as if it was real life so that you can get the best results out of your visualizations as possible. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's podcast. If you would like to watch the full video podcast, you can catch us on YouTube. If you would like to catch the full audio podcast, you can catch us on all platforms. If you would like daily content, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, where we would love to get to know you guys more. Thank you.